People, we all bleed blue because New South Wales has won Game 1 of State of Origin. And this is your Expert Ollie State of Origin Game 1 review. And as you saw in the title, we will be specifically later on talking about the send-off of Ponga. But overall, this is my late review video. Obviously, this comes out on a Friday for you lot, even though the match was on Wednesday. And I'm just so tired. I had no opportunity to record this. It's currently a Thursday night. So it's my only opportunity to record it. I feel like, we got to do it. It was such a big game. I was at it, which would be the main reason why I'm so tired and was unable to do this. But now, hopefully, this should be an enjoyable one. If you're a Maroons fan and you disagree with anything you say, if you give me factual stuff and like a proper opinion, please, I'd love to discuss with you guys in the comments. Maybe even make some videos and talk about that type of stuff. But there's a lot of people who come up with random excuses and like that. So I'm going to try and not be super biased to the Blues. Obviously, I was there supporting the Blues for my first ever Origin game. Of course, I'll be slightly biased. But there is so much to go over. Also, quickly go check out the Instagram, link in the description. The Instagram is where I post so much stuff that you don't see on my TikTok or my YouTube. And there's so much stuff in the game last night, stuff with other creators, including the league as well. We recorded some pre-match predictions where we thought that Queensland would absolutely dominate this game, and it looked like that was going to be the case. So, with this long intro out of the way, I think we can just get straight into it and talking about this first half of footy. So it's always hard starting off in a place like a core with around 79,000 fans there. The atmosphere was amazing. While there were a lot people think, oh no, there's a lot of empty seats at the start, it did get better over the game. And New South Wales fans really turned up. Queensland fans, you know what? I think they did well. There were a lot of them there. But New South Wales fans, as expected, for the home game, completely turned up. And they did their thing, and I was one person with them. I was completely red, jumping up and down. I had no voice for the rest of last night. It feels like it was so long ago, even though it was just last night. Okay, so we kicked us off with a Robert Toya try. A man who I always like to say every time I talk about him, as in his entire career of NRL has never missed out on an Origin selection. It just shows the quality he has, and honestly, he had a good game. He played well, and that partnership with Sam Walker, another man who I think Sam Walker was brilliant. Now, as much as I don't want to compliment Queensland, I got to. Sam Walker was one of the best players on the field, and I actually do feel slightly bad for him because he had a great performance and he was just unlucky. It was just the late performance from the Maroons just wasn't good enough. There was a really nice partnership from the two Roosters lads to score that first try. The second try coming from Thomas Flegler, 13th minute. Honestly, Queensland absolutely dominated us at the start. At a point, it was 20-0. Thomas Flegler, basically just down the middle. It felt like I was watching Parramatta, and I did say that, and the people I with said that as well. It felt like watching a game Parramatta where they just run down our middle. It looked really poor, and obviously, what I'm going to keep saying is that we did get very lucky to win, and I'm so happy we did, and I was so happy I was there. We didn't play very well especially this opening 20 minutes. Then you saw the Hammer get his try. Obviously, he always scores. Hammer, he just does what he does. He scores tries. He is deadly when he gets the ball, and he has a lot of tries to his name in the Origin arena. Not the most, but you know what? He's playing. Maybe if he keeps playing for the next few years, there's a chance of maybe even catching up, even though I think it's a bit unlikely. But you know what? Maybe score maybe a hat-trick or a double in the next few games. He's definitely on track. He is brilliant, and he's another member of that Queensland side who are just so well and play well, and also play well for their club as well. Hammer is brilliant for the Dolphins. He is one of their key guys. So someone who came in from being not really known too much and joining as a foundation player for the Dolphins, and he's been an absolute hero for them. But then it went downhill. So Sam Walker scored a penalty kick and penalty goal to make it 20-0 Queensland. I was sitting there thinking, wow, my prediction's going to be right, but for my first ever game of Origin I'm going to live, Queensland are going to win this by like 50 points, and I completely believe that. And I'm sure other people would agree as well. We were 20-0 down after only 20 minutes of play. We'd barely gone to the other side, and we looked completely out of it. So, until 6 minutes later, Hudson Young scored a very nice try. I think Hudson Young and the Canberra lads, including Ethan Strange, played very well on the night. He got a nice try, bringing momentum's high up. There was a bit in that game, that first 20 minutes, where I thought, I might never see in this game New South Wales score a try, because we didn't look like it, until Hudson Young did score that good try. Then later, into the first half, New South Wales were thinking around, they're like, okay, what do we do here? We need to try and get another try and bring it closer, so it's an easier job to do in the second half, which is what any team would want to do. And we came very close. We even scored a try, got disallowed. And at the stadium, a lot of people were very confused. I was very confused. I'm sure the commentators probably told you guys and told you a bit more better than obviously what it was like in the stadium. The try got disallowed, not because it was, because everyone thought the same, because it was a knock-on was the problem there, which was not the problem. It was not a knock-on from the New South Wales player. It was to a penalty because he was basically off the ball, kind of tackling on the Queensland player, caused that to be no try, if that kind of makes sense for the people who were there and didn't understand, or people who just didn't understand at all. And then also throughout the half, I think Ashley Klein is the worst referee in the comp, and unfortunately, he honestly shouldn't be refereeing another Origin or Grand Final game. He's not good enough as a referee. He makes way too many mistakes, and obviously it's a bit annoying because we played this new type of footy, I guess, with all these 6 agains going into Origin, just for them to go on and change it right the round before. So most of these players don't even experience with the new way they're kind of reffing, go into your Origin, and honestly, Ashley Klein had an absolute nightmare. He was awful, and I think lots of high tackle ones, I think he just didn't give. So a lot of calls against Queensland, a lot of calls against us as well. So I do want to say that. He wasn't just against us as much as there were a lot of times where he did not make very good calls for both sides, and it was honestly awful refereeing, and that's just the truth. I'm not gonna say, oh wow, he did a great job, because that's not what happened, and that could have nearly affected Origin quite a lot. But now let's go into the second half. So, the second half, and this is where New South Wales locked on. They're like, okay, we need to score. This is our opportunity. But you know what? It took a while for them to click, and they only started scoring in the last 20 minutes of the game. And that happened because of the Kalen Ponga sending off. So, now we're going to go over to this segment that I mentioned at the start and in the thumbnail and all that. Let's talk about Kalen Ponga. Okay, so let's go have a look through this. I'm going to try and give my opinion on it. I've seen a lot of clips of it, but I do want to go into this full thing here and have a real, and I'm going to give my thoughts and what I think it actually should be. Okay. Down. And then this is the moment, and it looks like just like that. Straight from there. Obviously, Ponga, we saw he had that injury to there. But it's these close-up scenes that I think matter the most. It was guaranteed at least a sin bin, I think. And I'm sure, check out the Instagram, as I said before, that has got all the stuff on it, everyone's chanting, but I want a closer look here. Obviously, Ponga definitely took a knock there as well. He looks slightly hurt. Okay, try and pause it. That looks head. Oh, it's... So he's in that position. If paused here, you can see the shoulder right next to him. But to be fair, that is right after he's already kind of... That one kind of shows head. I think that is shoulder from there. Let's have a look here. So he's in that. Okay. Yeah, because what I was saying is he looked like shoulder or was a head clash. One of those, but he didn't try and wrap around it all. Yeah. Like, personally, on the day, I thought Perfect should be a send-off here. That's head first. It's a head clash. See the left arm here, he tucks it and doesn't try to wrap. That's the first indicator for the officials. And I think they'll rule this, even though it's head on head, they'll rule this a shoulder challenge. Yeah. It's a really good night, and now I definitely understand the feelings of you guys as Queenslanders. From one thing right now, I think definitely a sin bin here. Yeah, sending off looks a bit extreme, unfortunately, I think. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I have to admit, I think we got lucky there. I thought that was shoulder, but that's why I wanted to have an actual look at this, and, I actually have to agree, with the, Queenslanders, that one. I think that is a sin bin. I think it's a sin bin. No doubt about that. A sending off, though, is a bit harsh. Yep, so they're saying it's a sin bin. There's a lot of looks to this. Okay, well, I'm just pause it like that because, well, it doesn't matter super much because what the decision was already made and that cause for this is what we're about to talk about, what happened after. But you want my personal opinion? Sure. I'll give it to you, Queenslanders. I think that should have been a sin bin. Sending off, though, I don't think that was the right call. Which is unfortunate because I was like, what a game, what a comeback and all that. And I never like those moments, I enjoyed so much and I will always enjoy like that. But you get the feeling of slightly not as good, when there's calls like that. But to be fair, the ref calls throughout the match was pretty awful. So that's not going to take anything away from my experience. But now is where, and a lot of Queenslanders blame, okay, because that happened. They that's how they lost. There's definitely a part of that, and there's definitely a lot of luck for New South Wales. But you guys, I feel like you guys can't say, oh, that's the whole reason you guys lost. No. Well, Kalyn Ponga, no doubt, is a very important player. You're one man down now. You should still be at the quality where you guys were just able to run through these guys easy and went 20-0 up. You've got one player less now. You should still be able to at least do some good defending. And there was good defending there, but it was nothing super from Queensland. And they have to look at that and be like, okay, well, that happened. And obviously that was very unlucky for us. But even though now you're missing a player, they should have not been able to let that happen. Ethan Strange was great. He had an absolutely brilliant game. I'm such a big Mitchell Moses fan. Ethan Strange, though, he did so well as the Moses replacement. And he should be so proud of himself. Mate, so very well done to Ethan Strange. A great try as well. Critter looked good, man. I think Critter played well. Then, a few minutes later, we got less than 10 minutes left. There's not much time left, and Cleary does what he does. I've been very critical over Nathan Cleary over the last few years, because I think his performances in Origin has been pretty poor. Except, this one was very good. He played very well, and he was definitely one of the best players there on the field, I think. There was a very nice try from Cleary. He missed one conversion, by the way. But a very nice try, just down the middle. He played well. It was a good try. We also had an Ethan Strange try earlier before the actual Ethan Strange try that got disallowed due to blocking. There was a lot of blocking calls. Nathan Cleary's, though, with his 40-20, which was one of the game-saving moments in there. And then the final moment, I posted it maybe 100 times on my Instagram. that moment, that beautiful kick from Cleary, for Teddy, who it looked like he was nearly about to drop it, but he got it down and won the game in one of the most iconic comebacks in Origin history, and one of the best in Origin history, and I don't think you guys can doubt that. I don't think there's anything that takes away from that, unfortunately, for you guys Queenslanders, because it was absolutely brilliant. I also think, overall for Teddy in the game last year, I made a video, I was like, he should be in the squad. Obviously, he didn't get put in. This year he got put in over Edwards, and while he didn't have a super good game at some points, and obviously we could have just walked in another try early in the game, but he made it harder for himself because he messed up the pass there. But there were moments like that, the moment where he just had to make catches and make some runs, he did it well, and it's in the last moment where it mattered, where no matter what happened in this entire game, where it mattered that last moment, he was clutch and he did his job, and that is the most important thing. Overall finishing, New South Wales 22 and the Maroons 20 with 79,186 in a rainy, cold Sydney, in Sydney Olympic Park at a core stadium. Mate, what a game, and I'm so excited for game 2. I hope this was worth it, waiting for Friday for the review. I feel like I could give more of an actual thought on it, because I recorded yesterday, I feel like I would have been wrong, and I would have said, oh no, send-off was right cool. So I'm very happy that I'm trying to bring some fairness into that. Especially though, as I love going around to comments and just like trying to rage bait Queenslanders, and then I say like 4 words and they write whole paragraphs. It is great. But thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. While this might have not been the most edited video for a lot of it, I appreciate it because it was all about the talk and it was all about kind of that today. So thank you all. Have a lovely day, guys, and up the woos. What you think? Because we got one more thing to show you. "40 years ago today, on a random fellow rock, and he took a swipe at Mick, set him on his arse. We all bleed blue. We all bleed blue."